So let me get this straight. You're not disciplined and consistent enough to see change. However, now you're upset because nothing in your life has changed. If this is you, I need you to keep watching this video. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up and let's get into it. I'm going to tell you the 3 powerful ways to keep you disciplined and consistent with whatever goal that you have. And I promise you, this video is going to change your mindset on how you go about changing your life. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first tip for staying disciplined and consistent is, what device are you holding right now? Your phone. Yes, your phone has done so much to get you off track with your discipline. Let me tell you, I don't know of any other creator who mentions this, but your phone is something that hijacks your mind. And I don't think that a lot of people realize it. The human body wasn't really made to be compatible with a smartphone. And the way it takes our attention off of the things that we need to do, off of the things that we should be doing, is in some ways diabolical. We wonder why we cannot have a one-track mind and focus on one thing. And I truly believe that our smartphone has a lot to do with that, because our smartphone was designed for one thing. It was designed so to keep your focus on it, to keep you spending money on it, and to keep you dependent on it. That is the reason why a smartphone exists. And a lot of people just think that smartphones are definitely something that they need, when in actuality, it's something that we don't need. We can access the internet. We have 5 million apps on our phone. And if you think back to the time back in like the 1960s or whenever we had landline phones and there were no cell phones, what was everybody doing? They were reading, they were working, they were spending time with their family, they were working on their hobbies. They were actually out there being present in life and actually feeling what life had to offer and being present and integrated within life. Meanwhile, you go to a bus stop and you see everybody looking down at their phone as if there's no other person around them, as if there's nothing going on in present life. And that is exactly how the smartphone hijacks our mind. And it keeps us so involved in social media and other people's lives instead of our own. So whenever I looked at my cell phone and my screen time, I think I was very surprised at the amount of time that I was spending on it and how easy my focus was veered away from what I was doing in the present moment. Like, I would start off on a project, right? I would start doing something for my business, and then the next thing you know, 20 minutes later, I'm on Instagram or TikTok. And I don't think that this was a viable way for me to live. So what I started doing, I started putting my smartphone across the room, and I do not let my smartphone touch my bed. That's right. I don't even get into the bed with my smartphone. And I make sure to stay off of it an hour after I wake up and an hour before I go to sleep. That way I'm reading. That way I'm thinking of creative ways to go about my business, or that way I'm meditating or doing something that I know is going to benefit my life, instead of having my mind hijacked by the doom scrolling, when I know the doom scrolling is not going to better my life. How long have we all had a smartphone? We live in a generation where we pretty much had smartphones. When it comes to millennials and Gen Z, we've pretty much had smartphones almost the majority of our life. I remember back in the day when we had Blackberries and we had the flip phones. And to be honest, those phones were less involved than the smartphones we have today, because now we have a big giant screen staring at us with a million app notifications. Anybody can reach us, anybody can text us and throw us off of our concentration into whatever it is that we are doing. I firmly believe that once you put the smartphone away for a while, you can definitely have more discipline, or as the feminine way I'd like to call it, self-devotion. You will have more devotion to self when you park that phone away from your bed and stay away from it an hour after you wake up and an hour before you go to sleep. Excuse me, guys, that's the ice cream truck. Yes, I think I'm a firm believer that whenever you keep your smartphone away from your bed and stay off of it an hour after you wake up and an hour after before you go to sleep, you will have so much concentration that it'll be insane. I want you to think of your smartphone like this. Think about yourself waking up in your bed and having 50 people barge into your room at the same time every morning. That's pretty much what a smartphone is. A smartphone is like having 50 people access you at once. The thought of 50 people coming into your room is crazy, right? So why would you allow 50 different frequencies, your apps, your friends, your text messages, your jobs, all to bum rush you as soon as you wake up? Because that's the equivalent of having 50 people waiting at your door, waiting for you to wake up so they can get access to you. Whenever you think of it this way and reframe it this way, it changes the game on how you view your smartphone whenever you go to sleep and right after you wake up. Because I want the first thing that you do in the morning is give yourself prayer and meditation, and I want you to give that hour back to yourself, because we would never let even one person just barge into our room every morning just to wake up and talk to us, right? Well, unless you have kids or something. But we would never want multiple people to bum rush us in the morning to bother us and talk about work and emails and all this, that, and the third. So don't allow your phone to be that frequency that keeps you away from your goals and your discipline. I want you to feed your focus and not your addiction to your smartphone, because once you start doing that, that frees up so much time. Watch your screen time die down. Watch your screen time get cut in half as you leave that smartphone way across the room, away from your bed. The second thing that I wanted to add that makes self-discipline, or self-devotion as I like to call it, a little less painful is pairing something that gives us dopamine along with something that we have to do. And when I say have to do, I mean something such as cleaning your house, getting on the Stairmaster at the gym or the treadmill, maybe going for a walk, or doing something that you know is going to better your life, that's beneficial to you, maybe like doing your laundry whenever you need to do that, or whenever you, I don't know, clean the house, whatever. One thing that has helped me lose weight significantly was getting on the Stairmaster and pairing it with a reality show I know I shouldn't be watching that gives me a lot of dopamine. That way, whenever I get done with the Stairmaster, honey, an hour has already passed and I have burned like 700 calories and I got to watch my favorite show. It makes it all a lot less painless whenever we pair this dopamine inducing TV show or this type of music or whatever it is you like to consume with something that betters your life, like being on the Stairmaster or treadmill. I promise you, if you put it on that reality show that you know you shouldn't be watching, an hour will pass by and you will have got your steps in. It works so good, and I wish more people knew about it, because I literally do everything like this. Whenever I have to clean my house, this is how I get that done. I will literally put it on something that, I don't know, maybe a show Baddies or something like that. Or I don't know, maybe Love and Hip Hop. I don't even know what people watch nowadays, but give yourself that dopamine, that pleasure inducing hormone while you're doing something and you know you have to do it. And baby, the time will speed up on the clock and it'll be done before you know it. For the last thing, I want you guys to know, I want you to get addicted to the process instead of just getting hype for the goal, because that is the major key in actually sticking to the plan that is going to catapult your life, quantum leap your life. It's going to change your life forever when you romanticize the process of what it takes to get to that goal. Because there's one thing that differentiates two people who have the same goal, where one is the winner and one doesn't get to the goal at all. One of them romanticized the process. One of them got addicted to the process while the other person was just looking at the goal. They both had the same goal, but one of them got there while the other one didn't. And that is the key. You have to make the process fun and exciting, and you have to make the process a planned strategy. You're not just saying, oh, I'm gonna lose 10 pounds in 2 months. You're meal prepping. You're planning out your gym schedule. You're getting a personal trainer. You're getting new workout clothes. You're going all in on the experience rather than just romanticizing the goal, because I promise you, that is the biggest difference. Whenever you say, I'm going to lose 10 pounds in 2 months, and you decide, I'm gonna start on Sunday and it's Saturday night, you go to sleep and you wake up, you say, I'm gonna go to the gym, but oh, there's something in the way, and oh, your job emailed you, and oh, you have to go run errands first. Then the next thing you know, it's 5 o'clock, and oh, now the gym is too busy, and oh, I'm hungry now. I didn't meal prep, so I'm just gonna go get fast food. That is the cycle where we are getting into the goal and not really getting into the process. And that is what separates people who are disciplined and people who are not. Because whenever you go about it that way, you will not get there. Trust me, I've done this 1,000 times. I promise you, whenever I lost 10 pounds and I not only meal prep, which was a mundane process, but I watched my favorite reality show while I meal prepped. That way I was getting that dopamine, and it went by so quickly. I made sure I got my favorite drinks from Starbucks, but homemade. I got my burgers, but just as turkey burgers without the bun. I still got satisfied from losing weight, and I still got satisfied from the process. I had one cheat meal a week, and babe, I lost 10 pounds and I was glowing. I mean, I was glowing. And when I tell you, this has worked for every goal that I've had. Whenever I just decided to go in and make the process fun and enjoy every step of the way, I can honestly tell you, you'll get there so much faster, because a process is exactly that, a process. And when you make a goal, most of the time, we don't consider the process of it all. We think of the time that it'll take, and we think of it as mundane and long and drawn out, and we get discouraged. But we have to have something to encourage ourselves. We have to find a way to get our dopamine, but from healthier ways. Get a friend involved into it. Get into a group where you know that accountability will be a thing and it'll be fun. You can tease each other. I remember when I lost weight, I used to be teased so much by the people in my group, because I would be like, oh my gosh, there's cookies in the break room and I want it. Oh my gosh. I would literally hop into the group chat and pretty much poke fun at how my coworkers weren't bringing healthy snacks and how frustrated I was. And I remember that time period being the most fun and non-stressful process, including getting up at 3:50 in the morning and going to the gym. After a while, I started to love it. And after a while, I no longer wanted that cheat meal at the end of the week. I no longer wanted to engage in things that were deemed as harmful for me with fast food or junk food. I had a way of making my own healthy version at the house, and that is how I lost 10 pounds. So I hope you guys got a lot from this video. This is a short one. I want you to romanticize the process and not just the goal, so you can separate yourself from the people that don't get the goal and you become somebody that does. I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, ladies.